Next one we're going to do is number 17 here. So if you look at number 17, notice we've got the radical on the right-hand side on this one. I have this plus 2 going on outside the radical on the right, and then I have a 7 over on the other side. You need, before you square each side, you need to isolate just the radical. So I have to undo anything going on outside the radical. So I'm going to subtract 2 over here. I'm going to subtract 2. So I get 5 is equal to radical 5k. Now I can go through, I got to solve for k under the radical, so I want to get rid of the square root. So I'm going to square each side. So I get 25 is equal to, here that just undoes the radical, 5k. I solve for k by dividing by 5. So I get k is equal to 5. Now we got to go back and check this. So here's what I had originally, 7 equals radical 5k, and then the plus 2 after it. If I put 5 right in here, I get 7 is equal to square root of 5 times 5, which is 25, and then add 2. So if I take the square root of 25, it's 5. 5 plus 2 does equal 7, so it checks out. I can give 5 as my answer. Let's go on. The next example we're going to do is number 33. So let's go down to number 33 here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. We're going to do this one right here. Now, this one gets a little trickier. We've got to undo, we've got to isolate the radical. I got the radical on my right, so I need to actually add r to both sides here to get rid of it on the right. So I get radical 5r minus 26. And this side I have negative 4 plus r. I'm going to write it as r minus 4. Okay, so now I go through, I've isolated my radical. I'm going to square each side. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to get 5r minus 26, because that just undoes the radical. On the other side, I need to square r minus 4. Now, when you square a binomial, you can't just square each term. You have to FOIL it together. So r times r is r squared. R times negative 4 is negative 4r. Negative 4 times r is negative 4r. And then plus negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. I can go ahead and put these two terms together. So I get minus 8r plus 16. So on the left, here's what I have. So here's my equation. Let me rewrite it. So over on this side, I get this, what I have here. So it's r squared minus 8r plus 16. On the right, I have 5r minus 26. Notice this is quadratic. I've got r squared and r, so I've got to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 5r, and I'm going to add 26. I'm going to do both these in this step. So I'm going to subtract 5r here, and I'm going to add 26. So it's r squared minus 13r plus 26 plus 16 is 42 is equal to 0. So now I got to go through, this is quadratic, so I've got a factor. So my a times c, I want a product 42, and I want a sum of negative 13. That's going to be negative 7 and negative 6. So we're going to split this into r squared minus, I'm going to put my minus 6r first, minus 7r plus 42 is equal to 0. We're going to group, so it's r times r minus 6. And then over here, we're going to take out a negative 7, r minus 6. And so it's r minus 6 times r minus 7 is equal to 0. So if I set this equal to 0, r minus 6, add 6 to both sides, so I'll get 6, and I'll get 7. So we get two answers. A lot of times that happens with quadratics, but we do have to check them out. So let's go back to the original problem. We got 6 and 7. So if I go back up here, I'm going to do my check up here. So we got 6 and 7 that we have to check out. So I have, with 6, I have negative 4 is equal to negative r. Well, we got r is 6, so that's going to be negative 6 plus radical 5 times 6 minus 26. So that's going to be 30 minus 26, or radical 4 right there. So negative 4 is equal to negative 6 plus the square root of 4 is 2. And that will equal negative 4, so that checks out. So I can give r equals 6 as an answer. Now I need to check 7. If I do the same thing, this will just be 7 here. This will be 7 here, so let's go over here. I have negative 4 is equal to negative 7, plus, if I do 5 times 7 right here, that's 35, subtract 26, I get 9. Radical 9 is 3, and negative 7 plus 3 is equal to negative 4, so that one checks out. So I have to give both these answers.